Hi, this is Unconventional Farmer, and if you're interested in growing bigger, better tasting fruits and vegetables for you and your family, then compost is definitely something you need to add to your garden. Making compost is super easy and inexpensive. You only need 4 important things to have amazing compost. The first thing is brown materials, also known as carbon materials, and these include things like newspaper, cardboard, paper bags, hay. And the second important thing is green materials. These add nitrogen to your compost, and these include things like fruit scraps, vegetable scraps, eggshells, seaweed, and grass clippings. The third important thing is water. Without water, your compost pile will be very dry. Dry compost will not break down properly. The fourth important thing is oxygen. The little microbes that are living inside your compost pile rely on oxygen in order to survive. If you ever notice that your compost pile has a really foul smell, there could be a chance that it's not getting enough oxygen. So to solve that, you would just simply have to add more holes to your bin and make sure you turn the compost pile more regularly. Making compost doesn't have to be expensive. It's unnecessary to buy a really expensive compost bin when you can make your own. This compost bin I made, it was super simple and about $15 at my local hardware store. I bought a 32-gallon garbage can and used a hand drill to drill holes all around the side. I also put holes underneath so that way excess water could drain out. And the holes are important too because they add a lot of oxygen into your pile. But I avoided putting holes in the lid because I didn't want rainwater to get in and oversaturate the compost pile, making it too wet and soggy. Compost piles are actually really low maintenance. The only thing I would recommend is once a week to add water. And after you add water, just give it a good turn. I usually use a shovel to kind of dig up the bottom parts and make sure that they're all getting enough air, but a pitchfork might work a little better because sometimes it gets really tightly compacted at the bottom, so it requires a bit of work to move it, but overall it's fairly easy. While mixing my compost, I take this time to look for any kind of bugs that are out of the ordinary, but so far I've never seen any. And that's mainly because I don't add any meat, eggs, or dairy products to my compost because that tends to attract unwanted and unnecessary insects like roaches and rats. But sometimes when I open the lid, I'll notice like a few little gnats flying around, but that's perfectly normal. Compost is usually ready to be used in your garden after about 2 months, but sometimes it can take up to about 6 months depending on the climate you live in and also depending on the size of your compost pile. But you'll know it's ready when it has a nice earthy smell and it's also nice and dark and fully broken down and no more food scraps are recognizable. So now that the compost is completely broken down, I simply just pull back the hay in my garden beds and add the compost, and that helps bring fertility to my soil and makes my plants grow so much bigger and taste so much better. After seeing how amazing my vegetables grow with using compost, I'm now 100% organic and no longer use artificial fertilizers to feed my plants. They're actually really bad for the environment, and there's so many other more natural things that are better for plants to grow big and strong. If for whatever reason you're unable to start your own compost pile, you should definitely check with your local county to see if there's a city near you that has a free compost program for their residents. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope from now on you decide to grow organically now that you know how easy it is to make your own compost at home. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.